Hi guys and welcome to thrustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What is in front of you is the Isuzu V-Cross D-Max. We've been driving it for a week and finally, because we've been waiting to get our hands on this since quite some time now. I think this is the first time any Isuzu video is coming on our channel apart from certain walkarounds that we've done, but it's not been a drive review yet. So this is it. Here we are after spending a week with the Isuzu V-Cross. This is of course the most talked about model in the Isuzu lineup in India. Of course, there is the MUX, which is our personal favorite. We had driven it in the form of the Chevrolet Trailblazer, and here we are now with the V-Cross. And what is it like? Well, let's begin with the design, and let me show you the side profile instead of the front as always, because this is what a 5.3 meter length vehicle looks like. It is humongous. It's longer than a BMW 7 Series or a Mercedes S-Class because it's got the dual cab design as well as a full-fledged bay to hold stuff. And what you can see here is a very good looking vehicle. I think the curves and the lines are also doing their job really well. There's a lot of badging: Isuzu D-Max, Isuzu Z, DDI. That's for the diesel, which is a precious fuel nowadays, or a precious engine to have nowadays. That is what the boot looks like, not your usual thing. These are surprisingly not struts and very drop-off mechanism. I think Isuzu should have had a much more softer closing mechanism here. Struts or something else would have been ideal. And this is quite heavy as well. You've got hooks here to mount your stuff. As you can see, here as well there is a hook. And these are to make sure that you can put the canopy on and make it look like the covered and protect yourself from all weather conditions. It's been raining but not so much, so we've not realized the fact that water can actually get stored. It's not been raining that much. And again, look at these massive 18-inch alloy wheels, which are mostly road biased, surprisingly not off-road biased to a very large extent, because Isuzu knows that despite their vehicles are really good off-road, a lot of people don't do it, so that's the reason why they're not doing it. Front design, very butch Japanese design, muscular Japanese design is seen here. Those cues are seen here with a lot of chrome, lot of plastic, a big gap in the bumper in the front and the lower section as well. And fog lamps are here, again a lot of chrome seen here as well. LED projector lamps are a welcome move on this car. And yeah, you've got chrome mirrors as well, and it's got a turn indicator on it too. As you can see my reflection, it's a very very big one, so the view also is pretty good from it. You've got this slightly awkward design where the handlebars, the grab handle has a chrome strip going ahead, and that is what the fuel tank looks like. I think I'll have to open it from the outside. Inside, a very very small sort of bumper here. I think this is it. This is probably the smallest bumper you can ever find because this is part of the cab design. And stepping in the back, since we are here, let's get behind my driving position, climbing in instead of stepping in. You can see I have very good knee room, leg room, shoulder room is okay, good enough, could have been better. And of course headroom is very generous. Height adjustable seat belts, cup holders at the back with only a single USB port. I think this should be replaced with a 12-volt socket, so multiple people can charge multiple types of items. I think a lot of manufacturers do it. Since this is a very old vehicle, it's not been updated in quite some time. That's the reason why it's stuck with that concept. Bare minimum hum, pockets here, and all black interior. You've got this piano finish which hasn't aged really well, but just about okay. The plastics at the back also feel decent enough, and those are the door pads, medium sized. Keyless entry and go. And here we go. This is the cockpit area. This is how you adjust the height for the seat, and this is for the recline. So it's usually the other way around when it comes to knobs, but Isuzu's chosen this way to do so. We kind of appreciate, because we're also looking forward to something new from a new brand, and that's all right. You've got space here to keep some stuff, which is impressive. Here too, and those are the fuel caps and the hood. Since I've opened it, let's go have a look. Actually, let's look at the fuel cap which we are trying to open. I'll open the bonnet in a bit. So diesel is here. AdBlue, I'm assuming, is from below the bonnet. actually found it. Oh, it is quite heavy, and that is the AdBlue one. That's what the engine looks like, longitudinally mounted, and airbox, huge battery, and that's your brake fluid right there. Washer fluid is right here, and this is the fuel filter for diesel engines, which has to be replaced in every service. As you can see, the bonnet was really heavy, and we've not seen that in quite some time. Even the doors feel very solid on the V-Cross, very solid indeed. This despite having a ladder on frame, we've not seen cars such, a car, a SUV or MPV or a pickup truck have these heavy doors. And let's get back inside. This is what the interior looks like. It's, as you can see, it's still in the early 2000s when it comes to the interior layout and what has been chosen here to be put. Normal dials. That's how the screen looks like. That's the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive and 4-low. This is of course a 4x4 manual. 12-volt socket is here, a USB socket is here. This is also again from the early 2000s, and surprisingly it is 2022. I can't say the 90s. Glove box, decent size, not illuminated or chilled. You've got a humongous 120 watt charging socket here with a bit of space on offer. And as you can see, the screen is let's say bare basic. That's how you see the information settings. It makes that weird Casio noise as well. It's all the usual settings that we're used to. You've got the front camera, and you've got Bluetooth, of course. There is no Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's the CD player right there, and you can control the track and the volume from here. You can switch out all of that, and AM FM, and you can connect your phone. Surprisingly, the sound system is quite good with just 6 speakers on board. The sound system is quite good because I think it's been mounted really well, so it's putting out a very good quality of audio. That's how the under storage looks like here under the armrest. It's not adjustable, surprisingly. It used to be done back in the day as well. No cruise control on offer, just these media controls. And that is the screen where most of the information is available. You have to press this button here. As you can see, trip 1, trip 2, instant fuel efficiency, average speed, distance since the trip, time, range, DPD level is the this is basically shows you how much the filter is choked, and it's showing only one level right now because we've been driving it on the highway and try to keep it as clean as possible. And that's the AdBlue level. It shows that it can still perform for 11,330 kilometers, and that's how the illumination level is. You have to long press it and then you get inside it, and yeah, long press it again, and you can actually adjust it from here and then raise it from here on this side, and it'll go away on its own. And that's about the features you have. That's the temperature gauge, that's the fuel gauge. You have all the telltale lights that you saw at the startup. A place to mount some idles if you want to, and the AC also works quite well. Even with 25 degrees, the chilling is really impressive, and it's not been that hot, but it's been hot enough for us, the fact that we can still keep it at 25 and not in the 20s to chill the cabin. Of course, there is no AC vent at the back. These vents blow a lot of air, so it should do the job quite well, though it's not really far away as well. So that's it. And the steering is also adjustable. It's only for rake, not reach. You've got these cup holders, but it doesn't even have that option where you press it and it comes out. You have to pull it from below. As you can see, there is some space to do that with your fingers here as well. That's a nice thing to have, but regardless of how the mechanism is, because it keeps your drinks chilled, which is really handy in hot weather, which is our weather most of the time in the country. And yeah, that's the cabin, that's the gear lever. And what I like to tell you about the gear lever is the fact that there is no safety mechanism for the gear lever. So there is the reverse is going to go like this, as you can see. And first just goes like this. You will, in the beginning you will have a habit of doing it like this, and you will go into reverse. That is why the buzzers here are making sure to tell you that. Then you will get to used to it within a day or two, which we were also getting used to after on the third day, and that will be fine. But Isuzu should have given that clamp here to make sure safety would have been ideal. What you also have here is very smartly hidden. I have no idea why, but yes, I got it open. And also like to show you that the IFBM is also not automatic. There's a sunglass holder here, and the lights are part of the on-off button as well, along with this. For the lights to open when the doors are open, you can switch it on and off like this. This button right here. No mirror here, surprisingly. It's here, and there's no light on it as well. For a car that costs 29 lakh rupees, you do expect that. And yeah, that's it. Now let's jump to the driving part. So what is the Isuzu D-Max V-Cross diesel 4x4 manual like to drive? Well, this is an 1.9 liter motor making 160 PS of power and 360 Nm of torque. The engine is smooth and refined. The noise barely creeps inside the cabin while cruising. The engine quite literally calms down. You don't hear it at all. What you will be hearing is a bit of transmission noise and road noise that creeps inside. And if you have the windows down, then the transmission noise just gets slightly higher. But the traffic noise and the wind noise is really well in check, so driving it in the city or on the highway is going to be surprisingly pleasant, because it's got that sort of damping from the metal which are the doors and the hood, and which insulate all the noise really well. So we are really surprised to see that it does certain things really well, while certain things do need polishing, because they're just about adequate and could have been better at this price point. The clutch is long. It can feel slightly heavy. We were stuck in Bombay traffic, of course, because it's monsoon season, and there is no other season like monsoon season in Mumbai to test out cars, because they go through a lot in a very short span of time, such as traffic, bad roads, good roads, and rains, and varying temperatures. And that's where the real test is, and it has aced that test quite well, because the ride quality is good enough. The gear and the brakes also feel okay. You of course won't be pushing it like in the corners or anything that you need really performance oriented brakes anyways. The pedal bite also could have been better. It's a little long throw, and the gearbox, the gates could have been well defined. It has a bit of vibration on it as well while idling, and first and second gear also are almost easily done. It will take a bit of a muscle, and you will get used to it within a week or two. And it is a bit of an effort to drive in the city, because the length you'll have to be really be considerate all the time, because you just can't you might very likely be upgrading from a very small vehicle, which is even a 4.4 meter car is going to be feel small in front of this 5.3 meter vehicle. So you will have to make sure that you have a lot of gap while closing gaps in the traffic, and that's what you need to take care of. But the steering is light, and once you start driving it, and if you have enough empty roads, you can take gaps quite well, because the steering helps it mask the entire length quite well. I park in a very tight area in my building, and it surprisingly behaved and let me park the vehicle quite with ease. I had the space, I put it in. The steering didn't require the extra effort that was necessary for such a long vehicle. So Isuzu's done a great job of masking the length and the weight of the vehicle quite well. And yeah, that's how it's like to drive on the highway. Extremely stable, but there is a bit of a vertical movement is just about okay. It's even negligible if you ask me. But the jitteriness that comes from ladder on frames vehicles is there, and we got the air pressures checked, and it just got better because there were overinflated tires that came to us from the dealership. And once we sorted out that, the jitteriness went away on concrete roads such as the Mumbai Pune Expressway that we were on. And I told you about the brakes, the gear lever, the clutch, the steering. It feels light, it weighs up well on the highway as well. So overall, it's going to take a bit of effort driving, and there's no need to slow down, but a bit of effort and bit of experience, then you'll get used to it, because we've seen a lot of Isuzu drivers on the road. Once they get used to it, they really end up driving like everybody else with and it's all about getting used to the off-road part. 4x4, we went over certain roads where it was really bad. The ditches were quite big, and a bit of articulation also was seen, and it went all of through that really well. All you do is put it in 4 high and it will go through lot most of the stuff. 4 low is when you really are going into ditches, coming out again, and that's where the Isuzu's off-road, that's you have to have a very dedicated off-road controlled area to do so, but we're pretty sure it can do that. Because it has 4 low, it should be able to do a lot of hardcore stuff easily, and that's what the vehicle is known for. It has impressed us by doing small to medium obstacles really well. I think that's it. We told you about the engines, brakes, how is it to drive in the city on the highway. For a car that almost cost 29 lakh rupees on road in Bombay with this particular variant, manual 4x4, features would have been expected. A screen with much newer features would have been ideal. Of course, the feature list can get as expansive as possible, but I think Isuzu needs to find a good screen with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and to make the experience better. An automatic IRVM also will work wonders, and it can still continue to sell that at the same price, so because it has the capability, it has the reliability. Isuzu is making a lot of effort in the service area. They're tying up with people where you can service your Isuzu and other cars at the same time, so that's going to be really impressive. And for a lot of people, because if you have a Isuzu and another vehicle, it can be serviced at the same service center, which is really impressive. And a lot of efforts in the service area are going to make sure that the service is quite good. Sales also continue to expand. Their dealership is also expanding across India, so you should be able to find this vehicle everywhere. Of course, enthusiasts know where to look for, and because this is the vehicle for them, because this does it all, and the way it looks and drives and the reliability it offers just makes it default choice for some people. And while it's been the default and the only choice for a lot of people, now there is competition stepping up, and a lot of competition is on its way as well in the near future. So I guess Isuzu has to give it a mild facelift to make sure that it stays relevant, because it has the capability to stand shoulder to shoulder with a lot of competitors. And I hope they do that. For now, it has impressed us, and we'll spend some more time and write about it on our website, so follow us there for everyday updates and the review of this vehicle. At the same time, follow us on social media for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.